I'm not one to generalize fan bases, well, not anymore at least. I hear endlessly about how Taylor Swift's fan base is awful, and I have no doubt that there are some awful people within her fan base. Hell, that's what this video is going to be about. But anyone with any kind of following is bound to attract at least some shitty people, so I can't really fault Taylor Swift herself for having some shitty people in her fan base. I mean, she's practically God at this point with how popular she is, so she's bound to have shitty people in her fan base. Anyway, before I discuss the topic of this video, I need to give some necessary background. Recently at a concert, Dave Grohl from Nirvana and Foo Fighters took a jab at Taylor Swift. From Independent, the Foo Fighters frontman, 55, told an audience at his concert in London on Saturday, the 22nd of June, that he called his band's show the Errors Tour. Get it? It's a play on Taylor Swift's Errors Tour. Anyway, because they'd had a few more eras and more than a few fucking errors, and because we actually play live. She indirectly responded back at one of her concerts by saying her backing band deserves so much recognition, and she also said to her fans, "What you just did is an unforgettable moment in not just my life, but every single one of our crew. The band that's going to be playing live for you for 3.5 hours straight. They deserve this so much, and so does every one of my fellow performers. And you just gave to us so generously. We'll never forget it." Now look, as you probably know by this point, I don't like Taylor Swift's music. I can't fucking stand hearing about her all the goddamn time. But you're feeling it, yeah, like I'm gonna make that much of a difference. But to be fair to her, what Dave Grohl said was kinda cringe. I know it was just a lighthearted joke, but it was still kind of rooted in that boomer mindset that there are no talented musicians today. Does she actually play live? Well, she has a band. I don't know if she's actually out there playing any instruments. Does she lip sync? I don't know. If she does, whatever. If she doesn't, good for her, I suppose. Whether she does or doesn't really make a difference to me because, again, I don't listen to her music and I have no aspirations whatsoever to ever see her live. His joke kinda reminded me of Green Day's promotion for Father of All. "We don't have any Swedish songwriters. This album will be 100% pure, unadulterated rock," when Father of All ended up being their worst fucking album by a long shot, and also their most poppy. But anyway, at the end of the day, Dave Grohl's comments were not worth getting all up in arms over. Unless you're a rabid, unstable Taylor Swift fan like this one person I saw shared on Reddit the other day. Now this first screen cap is someone responding to another person saying Tay Voodoo already got Dave Grohl back in 1994, implying that Dave Grohl already got his just desserts for his comments against Taylor Swift in the form of Kurt Cobain's suicide, which happened when Taylor Swift was like 5 years old. And then this one person replies with, "Maybe Dave shouldn't be so insufferable. 2 of his friends ended up killing themselves, the other being Taylor Hawkins, Foo Fighters drummer who died a few years ago," implying that Dave Grohl is at fault for the death of his friends. Again, this is all because he made one little remark about Taylor Swift at a concert. Guess I'll have a meet and greet with Kurt and Hawkins in hell then. I don't know if you're like trying to upset me or something, but like I really don't care. I just thought I'd give you a heads up that you're making yourself, and by extension Taylor Swift, look really bad. I'm really not, just saying there's a pattern here, and when the rest inevitably commit suicide, you'll see. You do know Taylor Hawkins died of an OD and not a suicide, right? But whatever, this is disgusting nonetheless. And here we have the worst screen cap. "Come take a nap with me, you're doing too much," and it's a fake image of Kurt Cobain laying dead with a shotgun in hand. There's no actual images of Kurt Cobain's dead body, well, public ones at least. And the image this person posted isn't the most graphic thing you'll ever see, but even still, I censored it because I'd rather not risk a channel strike. I just have to wonder, what service do you think you're doing for the world by publicly gloating over the deaths of friends and bandmates of a musician you don't like, all because they committed the egregious sin of making a light jab against Taylor Swift? If you were to show Taylor Swift herself these posts, do you genuinely think she'd be like, "Yeah, you got him, good job"? I'm not going to pretend to know what she's exactly like in her day-to-day life when she's not in front of millions of cameras, but I'd wager a guess that she's not so fucking depraved to the point where she'd take pleasure in knowing that her fans are sharing around fake photos of dead people to rub in the face of someone who made a slightly disparaging remark about her. He made a fucking joke. Can you say the joke was a little stupid? Sure, but he didn't say anything that crossed a line. It's not like he made light of any dead relatives or friends that she may have, like this fan is fucking doing. He made a silly little remark about how she supposedly doesn't actually play live. And if the joke is inaccurate and she actually does have a backing band at her concerts, which seems to be the case, and she actually does sing on stage, which I assume is the case, I've never heard anything about her lip syncing, then so what? Who cares? Continue enjoying her live shows by either actually attending them, if you could even fucking afford to go to them, or watching them on YouTube. It's amazing how every little slightly negative remark about their favorite pop star sets some of these people off. Taylor Swift is a billionaire, and I don't think it's much of a stretch to say, probably the most famous person in the world currently. Do you really think she needs an army of dumb fucks on social media rushing to her defense every time someone says something negative about her? Did Dave Grohl's joke drive down ticket sales for her shows, or sales for her albums? I highly doubt it. And on top of that, I really don't think there's much of an overlap between Taylor Swift's audience and Dave Grohl's. The way she responded was fine. She acknowledged her backing band without going on a long rant over what Dave Grohl said, and never even mentioned Dave Grohl's name once. And that's it. That's all the defense needed. It was just a throwaway joke at a rock concert, and he was probably drunk or drugged out when he said the joke anyway. And it wasn't some serious expose made about your favorite pop star. Learn to take a fucking joke about your favorite artist. I know, music plays a pivotal role in so many people's lives, and people have their share of artists that they hold near and dear. But not everyone is going to feel the same, and some people are going to hurl jokes about your favorite artist. And it's not serious business in the least bit. It's not going to impact how you feel about that artist's music at the end of the day, so I don't see why it's worth paying attention to. Continue to enjoy the music that you enjoy and go about your day. Who gives a fuck what other people think about it? That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.